Yeah.
Do you have a favorite artist or like a favorite song? And why?
That's hard. Like everybody asks me that. My answer is ever changing. I think the best of all time is Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Like, just because of overall, like I consider like everything in the balance. You know what I'm saying? You got the lyricism, you got the flow, you got the beats, you got the hits, you got the influence and whatnot. So I feel like balance-wise, he has the best one. Production-wise, I think Kanye is probably my favorite producer. Timbaland's up there. Timbaland, my guy. Who else? Rodney Jerkins. He does. I don't know if you listen to Brandy, but he did a lot of work for Brandy. He did Mike's last album too. Quincy Jones, obviously, like that's the go-to. Quincy Jones did Off the Wall and Thriller for Michael Jackson. But yeah.
But I'm gonna stop you and ask you about Kanye West. What he said recently.
Yeah.
You heard what he said. Does that change the way you looked at him?
For me, Kanye, it was a mixed bag of emotions. Because when I first saw it, I was very disappointed, like extremely disappointed. But Kanye always was outspoken. He said things like in whatever way. But the thing that we loved about Kanye was that he spoke for us. You know what I'm saying? The people who didn't have a voice, he would speak for them. That whole George Bush doesn't care about black people thing. He was a voice for people who felt disenfranchised. And him saying that he would have voted for Trump was basically like him turning his back on the people who stood by him, who made him famous. You know what I'm saying? The people he's spoken for so long. I've been walking with Kanye for a minute, watching his career and everything. And I think that his mother's death had a big effect, especially because November is the month that she passed away. So it makes a lot of sense that a lot of this stuff is happening, but there's a bigger problem at hand. It's gone unaddressed for a minute. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
You started off singing. What was next after the singing? Was it rapping or was it
Dancing
poetry?
Came next, and then after that, production and rapping kind of happened at the same time. Rapping was a little bit before producing. Everything kind of happened in their own little areas, and then I kind of just brought them together. For a long time, I thought I was going to have to choose between singing and rapping. My stepdad was the person who was like, hey, why don't you try to do both? And I was like, maybe I will.
When did poetry come in?
Poetry was just, I felt like there were certain things I couldn't express through song or rap.
What are those things, if you could think of something specific that you expressed through poems that you couldn't express through music?
Well, I mean, for one, there's certain metaphors that I can't play with in song form. And even just cadence-wise, I'm a big person on the forming of performance art.
Can you explain what cadence is?
It's like rhythm of like, if I'm rapping a song, let me see. You got like, I'll take Kanye as an example. You got one of my favorite songs by Kanye was the first line of the rap. He's like, my flow is in the pocket like wireless. I got the bounce like hot chocolate. I can't call it. I got this rip like alcoholics. The way you rap that, the rhythm, the flow, and everything, the cadence is basically another word for flow. And with poetry, it has its own free cadence. You can create your own rhythm and your own flow to it, but it's not restricted to a beat. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of mess around with it in a more creative way, and you can delve into topic matter that's not really necessarily fun to listen to in a song. You know what I'm saying? Things that sound better in that kind of spoken art kind of way.
What exactly does music mean to you?
Music means a lot. Music is honestly, it's just sonic. I say it's sonic liberation, really, if you put it.
Sonic liberation.
Yes.
Expand on that.
I feel more free doing music or other kind of art than I ever felt with anything else. You know what I'm saying? Music has the ability to liberate parts of you that no law or no opening of a door or loosing of a shackle can do. Like, it liberates your mind. I'm saying it liberates your heart and your soul. It makes you believe things about yourself that you wouldn't have been able to believe before. And it connects people in a way that is liberating, where you don't feel like you're caged inside your uniformity. You feel like you can't relate to other people. Nobody understands what you're going through, but there is someone across the world or somewhere who understands exactly how you're feeling. Music gives the ability for those people to connect and to share stories and to feel heard and appreciated. You know what I'm saying? So,
But do you see any environmental influence on your music?
Oh yeah, definitely. There is a relatability about my music that expands past one demographic because of the different places that I've lived. I tell stories that are specific to my life, but because my life has been in so many different areas, there's something for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Not too specific to the point where they can't grasp it. Because at the end of the day, really one of the main things I want to do with my music is show people how our experiences aren't really that different. We just experience them through different means. My goal is to affect positive change in the world, to make life better for people. Music is the immediate medium I have to do that.
Two of the songs I like the most
Alright.
on your little EP on SoundCloud, which again you put out in August of this year. Which wrap up, like what is the whole EP about in a few words?
Basically, it's a story of how I graduated high school and going off to college. Basically, the point is there's been a lot that I've gone through, and this time has given me, the summer specifically, has given me time to experience more and experience a lot of craziness, but to appreciate the person that I've become throughout all the things that I've seen, the trials that I've dealt with, and the experiences that I've had, that they shaped me into a person who's ready for this next level of experience and being excited for whatever's going on, whatever's gonna come, you know.
One of my favorite songs was Uptown. I'd like to know, like, what was the inspiration behind that song?
Well, long story short, there was a girl that I was talking to for a while, and basically, we had a lot of issues. It just was on and off kind of situation, and I was trying to do right by her and try to treat her well, and I felt like she was kind of taking advantage of me. And then at the end, it's the phone call from said female, and she basically worked her way back.
So then we have When I Was Young. We all learn from like our mistakes and stuff. It seems like you made a lot of mistakes in your past through all the songs that you make, you talk about all the mistakes. Now, based upon your mistakes and based upon the mistakes that you've seen of your friends and other people in your life that they've made, what would you say is the greatest lesson you learned from all of that?
I think the greatest lesson is to use everything good and bad that happens in your life to help somebody else's life.
Because my next question was going to be, what is the change that you, because you said something, one of the lines you said something about making a change.
You want to change the world,
yeah.
Make a difference in it.
So I guess that's the difference that you want to make.
Yeah, I mean, really, what I want to do is just empower people to believe in themselves and believe that their voice matters, and that the abstractness of ourselves is worth celebrating.
So I'm quoting. This is not from a song. Sorry. This is from a poem that you did at Verbal. The one I was talking about at the yard.
Yeah.
I think this is from that. You said, they taught us men don't cry, so I can't say that I'm hurt. So we just ball them like we Kobe. We blame it on dirt.
Yeah.
But we blame it on Kurt. What does that mean?
Alright, so there's a little bit of a continuation after that where I said, so we just balling like we Kobe and we blame it on dirt, or we blame it on Kurt, because Bible songs taught us right from wrong, but they didn't teach us how to live when our life is gone. Basically, what that is for men, specifically black men, is we're taught culturally that crying and expressing your emotions is important. It's indicative of a weak man.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we revert to weak means by doing what we do in the streets and whatnot, and then we blame it on the influences that are outside in terms of like these rappers, and then we blame it on people like Kirk Franklin is one of my favorite gospel artists, because the people who those songs they write about God and they write about how nice God is and all this other stuff, but they don't talk about the issues that we're dealing with. They kind of ignore. So it's like we use those things as scapegoats when in reality we just need to deal with our emotions.
Mm-hmm.
We have to deal with them in proper ways instead of just looking for scapegoats all the time.
That's kind of like a good point you make about like the music. It's talking about loving God and stuff, but it's not
Yeah.
talking about like stuff that y'all going through.
Yeah.
Do you think? Now I know it's also because that's just the kind of music like people like these days.
Yeah.
But why that may turn off some people? They'd rather listen to like gangster rap and stuff instead of listening to gospel music, because that gangster rap is actually talking about the stuff they're going through.
It's an acknowledgement of the pain.
Yeah.
Really. People want to feel hurt, and when you ignore pain to talk about something that eclipses somebody, then they're never going to be able to relate to your music. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I made a conscious decision to make the music that I do because I want people to feel heard. I want people to feel like they got a voice, and so I got to talk about the painful stuff in my life in order for them to feel like their pain isn't going unnoticed. And I think with gospel music, which is changing a lot now, but for a long time, there was not really that acknowledgement of the pain that people felt. It was kind of just like praise, and that's also through my own immaturity, not understanding the depth of the words in a lot of these gospel songs, because a lot of it does talk about the pain and strife that we go through.
Specifically Kirk Franklin, I know that he talks about that.
Yeah, and that's why I was gonna. That's part of the reason why I used him as an example.
Do you think that artists have the obligation to have a stance on social issues?
No.
No.
I think that every artist, that's a personal decision to make, but I do think that every artist has a social responsibility. They don't necessarily have to be public about their opinions, but I think every artist has a responsibility to use their influence to make change, whether that be through their music or through their means or their resources. But know that you've been put in a position where you can affect change, and do so if you see something that needs to be changed, but don't do things out of obligation. That's the biggest thing, because you don't do it out of passion. You don't do it because you care about the issue. For me, if I'm gonna talk about an issue like Black Lives Matter, it's not out of obligation, it's out of passion, because I care about it and I love it. If I'm doing that out of obligation, then you'll hear the obligation in my voice. If I rap about it from obligation, you'll hear it in the way I perform it. My heart won't be in it. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't feel passionate about something, stay away from it, because you'll do more detriment to it than help. You know what I'm saying?
I like that, yeah. Can you pick, out of the songs you made, what is your favorite song?
If I had to say a favorite off of that project specifically, that's a really hard question. But if I went off the top of my head, it's between Last Call and When I Was Young, probably. Because those.
And did you produce both of those?
Yeah.
Okay.
One, because those are two of my most proud works, production-wise. Like, that was one of my things with this project that I was really happy with. Is it was the first time I got to do beats for myself on that kind of scale, and a lot of people will like those songs as some of their favorites from the project. So it felt good to be like, oh wow, like people like that part of what I do as well. But then also those songs talk about pleasant pieces of the memories and things that kind of sum up everything, all my emotions about that time in my life. And they also represent looking to the future for me, like, okay, like, where am I going next? And it's like that, it's like hope for the future and gratefulness for the past. It's like when those two things are married, it's a beautiful thing. And for me, I feel like that sums up my entire life. I've been through a lot, but I have so much more to do. And so, you know.